Washington's clear-thinking headquarters. The Morning Majority, 5 to 9 on 630 WMAL.
8:37 on the Morning Majority. Brian Neiman, Mary Catherine Ham for the Daily Caller in this morning. Alex Stone joins us now. ABC's Alex Stone out west following the Barry Bonds saga that continues even with the verdict. Good morning, Alex. How are you?
Hey, Brian and Mary Catherine. Yeah, this thing is not going to end anytime soon because we kind of got this surprise announcement yesterday. Folks saying, well, this doesn't make any sense, that you've got a mistrial on 3 perjury counts. It said that he lied under oath about knowingly using steroids, but the jury found him guilty on the 1 count of obstruction of justice. Well, now you got legal folks who are even spinning their heads here saying, how do you not find him guilty on what he's accused of doing that would have led to the obstruction of justice? To obstruct justice, you would first have to lie to do it. In this case, and that's what prosecutors have said all along. But here the jury said, well, we couldn't decide if he lied or not, but he did obstruct justice. So now you got his side arguing that's not possible because he didn't lie, the jury found.
Right.
They couldn't decide on it. So they're now going to argue that they want that 1 guilty verdict tossed out. They've set a date for May 20th when they're going to go in and they're going to discuss this in court. The judge may very well toss out that 1 guilty verdict as well, saying you can't have that without the perjury verdict from the jury, too.
But at the end of the day, do you think Bonds and his lawyers feel like they won this case?
Oh, they definitely do. Yeah, definitely. They came out yesterday and they said this is a big win for them. You know, the prosecution has been going after Bonds for the last decade almost, coming up on a decade, a year shy of it. The prosecution has spent of your tax dollars, the federal court, $55 million going after Bonds now. You have a lot of people who say, enough, be done with this. You've made your point. You've opened up steroids in baseball over the last decade or so. He doesn't play any longer. You've got your 1 guilty verdict against him. But the prosecution now with this mistrial could decide to go again and could go after him if they decide that they have enough to do something different. But they've gone from a 15-count indictment early on. They've had to refile the indictment several times because courts have tossed it out. To then they went down to 5 charges in this indictment at the last minute, and then it got cut down to 4 counts because the judge tossed out another charge. They've had a very rough time through this whole process. Will they continue it on or say, enough is enough, we made our point? That's yet to be determined.
Do you think, though, I know a lot of people who follow sports want to know definitively, and I think a lot of people made up their mind a long time ago, did Barry Bonds use steroids? I mean,
well, yeah, in court during this trial, his attorneys admitted he did use steroids, but they claim at the time he didn't know what they were, that he thought they were flaxseed oil and arthritis cream, and that's truly what he believed. Now, there are a lot of people who say, wait a second, who got up on the stand, that this guy had to know what he was actually taking. One, his ex-mistress, some other folks from the locker room said he talked about using steroids, but they said just the physical changes for somebody who made so many millions of dollars a year and paid such close attention to his body that his head blew up twice the size that it was. He needed a new hat, double the size, baseball cap for the Giants, double the size of what he had. He got acne on his back for the first time. He got chest hair for the first time, and his ex-mistress said that his private areas got very, very small. That they said, listen, this guy, and his muscles obviously got very, very big. They said this guy had to know what was going on. But it's hard to prove, did he knowingly lie under oath? How do you prove that somebody knew they were lying? It's all in their mind. And the jury just could not decide on that.
I found it somewhat gratifying that he was convicted of something on the anniversary of Hank Aaron's Major League debut yesterday. That's my little factoid for the day.
They got something out of it.
Yeah, it sounds like weak sauce for as much. Yeah, it sounds like weak sauce for as much money as was spent on it. But I'm glad for a little bit of the public opinion downfall.
Repeat how much money, taxpayer money, was paid in going after Barry Bonds.
$55 million. And obstruction of justice, most likely he's looking at now, if he's found, if they continue on this and they sentence him on it, if the judge doesn't yank it back, and they're going to go through the whole appellate process as well, but he may be looking at home confinement, possibly. That would probably be the strictest sentence he'll get at this point. He could potentially look at a year and a half in federal prison, but most likely on this one charge with nothing else, he might get kind of a slap on the wrist and say thank you very much.
All right, Alex, good to talk to you. Thanks for your time. Alex Stone reporting live from California on the Barry Bonds